Imagine this. You've just heard an emergency broadcast. A hurricane is bearing down, or maybe a cyber attack has knocked out power across your region. You grab your keys and head to the store, but when you walk in, the shelves are already stripped bare. The bread aisle? Empty. The bottled water section? Gone. The battery display? Picked clean. This happens every single time there's a crisis. And here's the reality. If you're waiting until disaster strikes to buy supplies, you're already too late. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 supplies that vanish first in every disaster. We'll talk about why they disappear so fast, why they matter so much, and most importantly, how you can make sure you already have them on hand before the panic begins. Stick with me here, because the last one is often overlooked, and it's the one that can make the biggest difference in how you survive. The psychology of panic buying. Before we get into the actual supplies, it's worth talking about why these items disappear. When disaster looms, people act on instinct, not logic. They rush to stores with everyone else, and they grab the first things that feel safe and familiar. That's why you'll always see carts full of bottled water, bread, milk, and batteries. The problem is, most of those people aren't thinking past the first day or two. They're reacting emotionally, not strategically. And that's why preppers, people like you and me, focus on planning ahead. So let's break down the 3 categories of supplies that run out first, and what you should do about it. Number 1, clean water. Water is always the first thing to disappear. Always. The second a disaster warning goes out, people strip the bottled water aisle in hours. Why? Because everyone knows they need it to live, even if they don't understand how much. Here's the truth. Humans can only survive about 3 days without water. And in a crisis, normal systems fail quickly. Municipal water plants depend on electricity to pump and treat water. If the grid goes down, clean water might stop flowing to your tap in a matter of hours. And even if it does keep flowing, frozen pipes in winter storms or contamination from floods can make it unsafe to drink. So what should you do? First, store water now, before there's a crisis. The general rule is 1 gallon per person per day, for at least 7 days. If you have a family of 4, that means 28 gallons minimum. It sounds like a lot, but if you start with just a few jugs every time you shop, you'll build it up quickly. Second, invest in a way to purify water. This is where preppers separate from the panic buyers. Panic buyers rely on bottled water, preppers rely on tools. A Sawyer squeeze filter, a Berkey countertop system, or even basic water purification tablets give you control when the shelves are empty. And here's a pro tip. Before a storm, fill up your bathtub and sinks. There are already reservoirs sitting in your home, and that water can be used for flushing toilets, cleaning, or even drinking if purified. Water isn't optional. It's the very first thing that disappears in a crisis, and it should be the first thing you prepare for now. Number 2, food staples. The second thing that vanishes instantly is food, but not just any food. It's the basics. Walk into any grocery store before a disaster and you'll see the same story. Bread shelves empty, milk coolers cleared out, eggs gone, canned goods gone. The problem is, most of those items are perishable. Bread goes stale in days, milk spoils without refrigeration. Eggs don't last long unless properly stored. So while people feel safer loading their carts with these items, they're not actually gaining much long-term security. That's why preppers focus on shelf-stable staples. If you want to be ready for the next crisis, here's what should already be in your pantry. Rice and beans. Simple, cheap, calorie-dense, and they last for years if stored properly. Oats and pasta. Easy to cook, filling, and versatile. Canned meats and vegetables. Tuna, chicken, green beans, and soups can keep you going when fresh food isn't an option. Freeze-dried meals. Brands like Mountain House and ReadyWise can last 20 to 30 years in storage and only require hot water to prepare. And here's where you can set yourself apart. Don't just think about calories. Think about morale. Comfort foods, instant coffee, peanut butter, chocolate, do wonders for keeping spirits up when everything else feels bleak. Question for you. If your grocery store closed tomorrow, how many days' worth of food could you get through with just what you have at home right now? Most people would be out of options in less than a week. You don't have to be one of them. Number 3, power and light. The third thing that runs out first, and this is the one people forget until it's too late, is power and light. When the power grid goes down, the world goes dark. No lights, no heat from electric furnaces, no refrigeration, no charging phones. Suddenly, modern life stops. That's why the moment a blackout hits, people rush to buy flashlights, batteries, candles, and generators. And guess what? Those shelves get wiped just as fast as the water and food aisles. So what's the solution? Don't wait until you're standing in the dark. Here's what you should already have ready. A stash of extra AA and AAA batteries, because every device you own probably needs one or the other. A couple of LED lanterns and headlamps. These last longer and are safer than candles. Rechargeable options like the Luminade solar lantern, which can charge in the sun during the day and light your home at night. And if you can afford it, a portable power station like the Goal Zero Yeti or Bluetti. These won't run your whole house, but they'll keep essentials alive. Phones, radios, even small medical devices. Think of it like this. Light isn't just about seeing, it's about safety, it's about communication, and most of all, it's about morale. A family gathered around a lantern feels a lot more secure than a family sitting in total darkness. Now let's pull this together. The 3 supplies that vanish first in every disaster are clean water, food staples, power and light. These aren't luxuries. They're the foundations of survival. And the reason they disappear so fast is because most people don't think about them until it's too late. But you're not most people. You're here because you want to be ready before the crowd panics. So here's my challenge to you. Start small. Next time you're at the store, grab an extra jug of water, a couple cans of food, and a pack of batteries. Do that consistently, and within weeks you'll have a real emergency reserve that will carry you through when others are left scrambling. And remember, it's not just about stockpiling. It's about having the tools to make what you already have last longer. A filter that makes water drinkable, a lantern that keeps the dark away, a pantry that doesn't rely on fresh deliveries. So, what's the first thing you would grab if a disaster hit tomorrow? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, because I post new preparedness guides every single week. If you liked this video, your next stop should be my Blackout Survival Guide, because once you know what disappears first, the next question is how to live without it. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.